Yo, what is up, my sweet little garbanzo beans? So today's reading is going to be something I think we could all use, and I say this a lot. If you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, I say this a lot when there's like a bit of like a silver lining or something good, trying to kind of emphasize the positive. I always say, like, think of this as like a little pep talk from spirit. And so that is the inspiration for today's reading. So today's going to be a pep talk from spirit. This could have to do with something specific going on in your life, or this could just kind of be a general message that you need to hear. But the entire purpose is going to be maybe some words of wisdom or uplifting guidance. We all need a little pep talk sometimes, and who better to get one from than the entire universe? So you have 4 options, and this is in the thumbnail before you. You have option 1, which is the dark red thread. You have option 2, which is the light orange thread. Option 3, which is that kind of like rust, harvesty kind of colored auburn thread, and option 4 with the purple thread. So take your time, pause the video if you need to kind of meditate and reflect on these 4. When you're ready, make your selected choice and go to the corresponding timestamp in the description box down below. And I will say these are general, but if you kind of need help with a specific situation or want something more tailored to your personal needs, please feel free to check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box down below. I offer a variety of readings, but if you don't see anything that meets your specific spiritual or financial needs, totally feel free to DM me, because I'm happy to make a custom reading. So with that, I am going to get started with group number 1. Hi, group 1. Okay, so you were attracted to this dark red thread. Now, to me, this is really talking about like your deepest held destiny. Red is a color I very much associate with your destiny, and especially where it's so deep. This is something that has been a part of your soul plan, since before you incarnated. And I feel like this is talking about something where this is multiple lifetimes in the making. So if you've been going through a lot of changes lately that feel really like big or overwhelming or really important, this may be why. Excuse me. I feel like you are at, I almost wanted to say an impasse, but that's not quite the feeling I get. But a crossroads more than anything else. I'm sorry, my throat is a little dry. I feel like you're at a crossroads more than anything else. And I kind of feel like if you were attracted to this thread, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, this is a time where you feel like you could use some bigger guidance. And that's because you're facing bigger issues of the soul. So this is like a really transformative, important time for you. And I feel like the word imperative keeps coming up. So it's either imperative that you do something, or you know something, or it's imperative that you hear something. Everything that you are going through right now is very planned out, right? And I think all souls have a varying amount of fate and destiny in their own lives, depending on their life journey. And this kind of can fluctuate throughout our lives, but this segment of your life, this portion of your life, is very much like predetermined to a certain extent. So I kind of just want to get that out there. But let's see what kind of pep talk spirit has for you regarding this subject. So I'm going to start by pulling you an oracle card from The Universe Has Your Back, and I will link all my decks in the description box below. But I really like this one. I've already pre-shuffled it too, like pre-real shuffled it, because I don't know if you can tell, my hands are actually really small. So I always shuffle my decks before I shuffle them on camera, so I make sure they're very well shuffled. Okay, so I just got this in a personal reading for somebody the other day, and I love this. But it says, my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Absolutely. Okay. So this is really Spirit talking about when you feel lost, or when you feel like when you feel the energetic pressure, because again, this is a very fated, destined time. So sometimes things may feel very important, even if, externally they don't look like that. And I feel like you're at a point when, because I'm really drawn to compassion and forgive, I feel like you're at this like, again, this crossroads of your life where what came before needs to be released. Or really just like put in perspective, like in terms of like events of the past, and what is to come is going to be very different than what you've experienced. And I feel like you can sense this intuitively, and that right now you're going through a period of time where you're feeling very lost. And this is just Spirit saying, when you do feel lost, maybe meditate, go for walks in the woods, connect with me, because I am with you. I am leading you. I have seen everything that has happened and everything to come, and I'm going to make sure you stay on the path that you intended. I'm going to make sure I lead you as much as I can to the opportunities that you have set out for yourself. So this is really like a pep talk saying, don't worry about making the wrong choice. Don't worry about the past repeating itself. Don't worry about the path, because I get this feeling this group is kind of like, am I going the right way? Am I doing the right thing? Especially when you encounter hardships that might seem counterintuitive to what you're doing. It's like, well, I'm trying really hard. I'm doing my best. Why is this happening? It feels like a lot of trial and error. And this is just kind of Spirit really wanting to let you know that you are on the right path. You are headed toward the destination that you had intended to, and that whether it seems like it or not, nothing at this time is random. And I believe that anyway, like nothing is coincidence, but nothing is random. Nothing is without purpose, especially now. Everything you do, everything you encounter, every person you meet, every situation you're in has some type of information for you. And I'm not saying that to make people like hyper vigilant, but just to say like you are not lost at all. You are completely on the path. And all the trials you may be going through at this time are to wrap up old cycles in order to prepare for new ones. So I'm going to pull you guys a Botanical Inspirations Oracle card and get a little more information. I love this deck. It's really beautiful. Oh, I love this card. Look at you guys. You guys got Iris. It's rainbows and messages. I always want to read it as massages. I know it's not. It says, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for the stars. Yes. So I was talking about this in a reading that I posted to the channel a couple weeks ago. But to me, whenever I see stars in any like tarot deck or oracle deck, this is always very much a sign of divine guidance and that you're on the right path. So I love that that came out. And to me, rainbows are also a huge symbol of like spiritual activation and awakening, because it's like all the chakras activating at the same time. But yeah, I love to see this super hard. I didn't know that irises were so named for I believe it's, and please correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm so sorry, but the Greek goddess of rainbows. I think that's beautiful. I love that so much. And I also really associate rainbows with like the gift that comes out of turmoil, right? It's you can't get the rainbows without the rain kind of an idea. So to me, rainbows always come out of difficult situations. So if you are in a moment of confusion, or where you feel lost, or you've been through a lot, you're trying to figure out where to go, because again, compassion and forgive keep jumping out to me. Whether this is compassion and forgiveness for yourself or for others, or for both. If you've been going through some tough times, this is that pep talk to let you know you are being very divinely guided, and that there is a rainbow after the storm waiting for you. So I want to pull you guys oh gosh, I cannot remember the name of this oracle deck. It's like Spirit Guide Messages. I'm trying to see if I can see it. Sorry, I can't remember, but it's going to be linked in the description box below. It's beautiful. So I'm going to pull you guys one of these cards to kind of get more information. Oof, okay. Alrighty, so I put this right here. You guys got denial, so make sure you can see that image. It's divine helpers. This is card 22, by the way, so that's a master number. Okay. Alright, there we go. So with this card, I feel like there's this really deep fear of being your real self, because look, the mask is taken off, but they're still covering one eye. There's this fear of being yourself, and this may also include a fear of seeing people or a situation as it really is, right? Because I feel like with this image, you've put somebody or a situation or two people, you've put this up on a pedestal, and I feel like you've been hiding parts of yourself away. Because I feel like with compassion and forgive, this goes both ways. I feel like there's something where you need compassion for yourself and self-forgiveness. And I feel like because of, a lack of those things, perhaps that's what keeps you hiding away. But I also feel like there's this need to have compassion and forgive these other people, because even though they're up on a pedestal, there's this feeling of you still don't want to look at them for who they truly are. This is really complex. And I feel like you're going through a period of time where, the mask is coming off. Wow, I'm tripping over my words. I'm sorry. This is the disillusionment, essentially, and seeing things for how they really are and seeing people for who they really are, warts and all. And I think this process can be scary sometimes, and this process can be painful and can make you feel lost sometimes. And with power being highlighted, I'm feeling like powerless. I don't know why for some of you I'm getting these are your parents, like you're seeing your parents for who they really are. For some of you this is going to be a romantic relationship. But with 22 being here, this is about soul partnerships, and this is also, this is a master number, and this is also about, it's not just soul partnerships, but it's the big decisions we make as to who we are in relationships. And I feel like you've had to hide yourself away, or you've had to obscure your vision of other people. And this is why I say this is maybe either a relationship or parents, because I feel like you've been very, very close with these people. I feel like they've shaped a certain amount of who you are, because I'm really drawn to the fact that the mask is the same color as the person, so it blends in almost seamlessly. And I really feel like there is this combination of not feeling like you can be your truest self, but also not wanting to see this other person or these other people as their truest selves. I feel like there's been an illusion on this relationship or these relationships in your life, and now the mask is coming off. Things are becoming very clear, and I think that process can be very scary at times, or this process can be very unsettling. Because I'm also noticing the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up. So I feel like this person or these people have hurt you at times, and maybe this goes both ways. And now is becoming the time to see it clearly and to really see yourself clearly. Because there's something here where I feel like, yes, you are afraid to look at these people as they really are, but this comes from a fear of looking at yourself as you really are, right? And with this being like that kind of deep color of destiny, now is your time. Now is your time to really see yourself and see others as you are through the energy of love, and be able to face the situation with love instead of fear. Because I feel like you've outgrown this. 22, if you add it up together, is a 4. That's a very stable number. It's a very secure number, but it's also a very rigid number. And while 4s do provide a sense of security, 4s can also be about getting stuck, right? And I feel like it's time for you to expand past the situation. And with rainbows and messages, this is a little pep talk from Spirit saying, like, you are on the right path, no matter how uncomfortable it may feel. So don't be afraid to truly look, to truly see, to truly take in the enormity of this transitional period in your life, because there's a lot of self-empowerment here, especially with all the purple. This is a lot of, I'd say, psychic and spiritual empowerment. There's a lot to be learned here, and it's interesting, we have a lot of purple here, and then we have the purple irises over here. So this is beautiful. I want to pull you guys some tarot and get more information. Oh, this deck is hard for me to shuffle. I'm sorry. Ah! No! I had like a ton of cards fall out. Sorry, I usually will not take like a ton of cards if they all flip at once. Okay, and then it's this one. Alrighty. This is the Lightseers Tarot, by the way. Again, it will be linked in the description box below. So you had, the Knight of Cups, okay. Okay, there it is. Yeah, the Ten of Swords reversed. Oh, and the Nine of Pentacles. You guys, this is lovely. I love this for you. Right away, we have a 9 and a 10. So this is talking about wrapping up this cycle that's ending. This has been a very difficult cycle with the 10 of Swords. This is often, kind of like the Dark Night of the Soul card. This is, this is not only an ending, but this is like an ending that weighs on your mind really heavily. Traditionally, in the tarot, the Ten of Swords is a man laying face down with 10 swords in his back. So this is a card a lot of the times about a bitter, painful ending, betrayal, about feeling stabbed in the back, something that's just been really, it's like something that is like totally 100% dead, gone, like Kaputskis, with no chance of revival. Or resurrection. But the nice thing is that when it's reversed, this is kind of saying like the worst is over, right? And not only is the worst over, but it's actively improving. And with it coming out with the 9 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, I feel like this has everything to do with your self-esteem and your self-worth. And I feel like this is all about how you put yourself out there emotionally. How you pursue what you love, because the Knight of Cups is very, he's very romantic, he's very effusive, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Sometimes he can be a little bit, he can lack longevity, kind of like the Knight of Pentacles has a lot of longevity. So he can lack a little bit of longevity, and sometimes he's not always the most grounded because it's kind of his heart runs away with his head kind of a thing, he loves love, and I love that about him. So I feel like this has everything to do with again, I'm really feeling either this is a romantic partner, this for many of you, I feel like this talks about your parents. This is about how your relationship with this person or with these people has impacted your self-esteem and has impacted what you think you are worth emotionally, if that makes any sense, right? And I feel like whatever has happened here has caused you to really take a pause, and has caused you, created some fear around pursuing what you truly, deeply desire. And I feel like that's why this is time for the mask to come off, is because it's time for you to go after what you want. And Spirit is backing you up in that process and trying to help support you to live into, in the energy of love, right? For some of you, you may have had trouble drawing good boundaries, because I'm just noticing gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up. You may have had trouble drawing good boundaries, again, if this is like a parental relationship or a romantic relationship, honestly. This could be, one where there was a lot of, heavy emotions, a lot of fighting, a lot of harsh words being said, a lot of, I don't know why I'm getting almost like passive-aggressive fighting, where it's not like you have blowout arguments, but it's right? Because this person's hiding. Again, this is a combination of hiding and not wanting to see something, right? So this feels like this is less of outright fighting than it is like passive aggressive slights, subtle sabotage, whether this is self-sabotage or sabotaging the other person. I feel like whoever this was for you is very emotionally stunted. And I feel like they have taken that out on you in this connection, and Spirit's trying to really like come in and show you that that's not how love should be, that it's okay and it's safe to go after what you want, that you are worthy and deserving of that, and that the worst is over and it's not going to repeat itself. And I really feel like, sorry, I'm just fixing this, that was bugging me. I'm really feeling like Spirit's trying to come in and trying to show you that now, in order to help direct you to the next part of your path, right? To help get you through this feeling of feeling lost. So I'm just going to pull clarifiers for those. Oh, okay, that's too many. That's like 1,000,000 clarifiers. That's too clear. Okay, well, damn. Okay. I just need one more. I love this deck. It is the most gorgeous thing. It is very hard to shuffle, though. It's this one. So I apologize. Okay. So for your clarifiers, you have the Empress coming out under the Knight of Cups. You have, the 9 of Cups coming out under the 10 of Swords. Oh, and you have the Star reverse coming out under the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So again, the Star, this is that idea of divine guidance. But I like the fact that, by the way, you have 2 major arcanas as clarifiers. That's really cool. So right off the bat, first of all, with it being the Empress, this could have to do with a mother figure. This could also have to do with your own divine feminine, I was going to say energy, but I almost said essence. So that might be an important distinction for some of you. But yeah, this is really talking about how, the worst is over. What you have been through will not repeat itself, and how you are on your way to getting your wishes fulfilled with this 9 of Cups. But, I do feel like with the 9 of Pentacles, first of all, we have 2 9s. Again, 9s are all about wrapping up a cycle, and 10s are the ending. I feel like because your 2 9s are 2 very positive 9s, I feel like you're at this place where you're trying to wrap up this cycle, or that's what's on, that's what's part of your life path, is wrapping up this cycle and heading toward what you want, right? Heading toward your dreams, your fulfillment. But with the Star reverse, I feel like there is doubt. There is fear to follow this, but I always really like this version, right? Because she's holding on to it, and this is like having a lifeline, especially with all the purple, like having a spiritual and psychic lifeline to Spirit in general, and saying like, this is kind of this pep talk saying, don't worry about going the wrong way, don't worry about making the wrong decisions, don't worry about repeating a painful past, because it's not going to happen again. These had a very specific purpose, and this is why you're kind of going through this disillusionment period, because it's finally time to look at this. Whatever this situation was, I feel like it's held power over you for a long time, right? And with the not the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups with a little, can you see it? The little sealed letter right here. I feel like there's a lot of things that have gone unsaid, and I wouldn't be surprised if those things come out now, or very, very soon. And why? Because it's time to see it as it really is. Because I feel like you've been holding yourself back a lot. You've been holding yourself back from what you feel divinely called to do, or what your divine wish is, what the deepest wishes of your heart are. And you, like I said, I feel like you've been holding yourself back from pursuing it. And I feel like there might be like self-worth issues called into question here because of that 9 of Pentacles. I feel like there are boundary issues. I feel like whatever happened, this really did a number on you. This is kind of, I just get this image of somebody being dumbfounded and just sitting there in silence because they don't know what to say. So whatever this was really, really hurt you, and really, really made an impression on you. And really, I think, damaged some perception you have of yourself as like worthy of getting, with these 2 cards, worthy of getting what you want, worthy of having your heart's desire. Because we then have the Knight of Cups, which I talked about, this is going after what you emotionally desire, what is truest to you in your heart, and it's clarified by the Empress. And the Empress, I love it because the Nine of Pentacles is often referred to as like a mini Empress, but the Empress has like immaculate self-worth. She knows what she deserves, she attracts things, she's incredibly abundant because she knows she is worthy of having her heart's desires, right? She knows her own divinity. And I feel like you are coming into a period where it's finally time for you to get that for yourself. It's finally it's your time finally, right? It's your turn. And I feel like Spirit is trying to lead you through this portion of your life to see these things clearly, to have these experiences. And it's really interesting because we have a lot of magenta here, and magenta is actually a color of like universal love. And I feel like Spirit's trying to kind of lead you into that energy, because in that energy, in that source energy, in that flow, it's easier to connect with those emotions, to believe in miracles, to see your own divinity. And I feel like seeing other people clearly is like the external lesson here, but it's really to see yourself clearly, really to see yourself as abundant, as beautiful, as divine, and as worthy, as deserving of having not only your needs met, but your wildest dreams fulfilled. So that is your pep talk from Spirit. I hope this has been helpful. I'm wishing you all of the best and the most beautiful things that life has to offer, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Take care, love bugs. Hello to all my sweet little garbanzo beans who were attracted to group 2 with this bright orange thread. So for you, right away, what I'm kind of getting is that this is a time to really find your joy, find your spark. I'm feeling a lot of, sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm feeling a lot of creative energy for you guys, but this just kind of feels like, I keep hearing here comes the sun. So I feel like this is finally your time. I feel like you've had to work really hard lately to try to learn some lessons, and I don't get the feeling it's been a particularly dark time for many of you, but I feel like it's not quite grueling. I just feel like it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of effort. It's been maybe tedious at times, but you really hung in there. You really stuck with it, and I feel like you're about to get a reward for that. I feel like this is just going to be a time of a lot more happiness for you. So I'm going to pull you guys a card from the Universe Has Got Your Back Oracle deck, and we're going to get a little more information for your pep talk from Spirit. It's this one right here. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Sometimes they hide. Okay. All right, you guys got, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Yes, highly manifesty energy. I just feel like this is really fun. Like, this is a total energy shift from the first group. Not that that wasn't good, but that one was like a very deep, almost kind of like somber energy. This feels like fun. This feels like life of the party. So if you've been kind of like all work and no play, if you've been having to deal with some really serious issues that require all of your attention, this just feels like you're on vacation, or like you're finally kicking back, putting your feet up, letting your hair down kind of a feeling. And I feel like right now is a time where you're really being encouraged to embrace that lighthearted energy, because what you are, the energy you are focusing on and embodying is going to be the energy of what you manifest at this time. So I'm going to pull you guys a Botanical Inspirations card and kind of look a little bit deeper into this. This is like good energy. This feels like a party. I'm loving it. Okay. So you guys got Pansy. Oh. And Sweet Thoughts. It says, pray you love, remember. And there are pansies for, sorry about this. Okay. Pray you love, remember. And there are pansies, that's for thoughts. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, I don't know if you guys could see that. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, so I like that this is, again, sweet thoughts. What you focus on will create your reality. Like what you focus on will be what you manifest. This is all about staying in that happy, high vibe place. And that doesn't mean that we're like happy all the time with everything, but that just means we choose to focus on the positive. So, we feel our feelings, we process them, and then we find the good and the, I don't know, we kind of find the silver lining in every experience and being able to appreciate it as part of the experience of being alive. So I'm really, I love this energy so much for you guys. And I'm going to pull you guys I think it's called the Spirit Guides Oracle. I'm so sorry if I'm messing that up. This deck is beautiful though. It's going to be linked in the description box in case y'all are interested in it, because it is lovely. All right. So you guys got, you guys got Rest. And this is card 24, which would reduce to a 6. Yes, so I love the fact that there's somebody just kicking back and reading a book in that chair, because it's very much, it's very much that energy of like being on vacation. There's also a stag and there's a dove in the foreground, in case that's important for either of you. But yes, I feel like you've kind of, again, you've run your races. There's something you had to do that took a lot of your energy, that took a lot of your focus, and now you're going to be like manifesting the results from that. This is really sweet energy. And this is going to be a time for a lot of like rest and rejuvenation, a lot of, it's like recuperation. Like you're going to have like, I feel like you're going to feel like $1 million after like this period of a lot of like rest. Sorry, I'm like shifting in my seat so much. I'm trying to be comfortable, but I'm sitting on the floor and it's a hardwood floor. So it is hard and woody. I wish I picked any other way to say that. I'm dealing with it though. But yeah, this is just like really lighthearted energy. This feels like you're finally catching a break. I really like that. So I'm going to pull you guys some tarot and get more information. Okay. It's this one. And just need one more. Okay, and that's your one more. Sorry, I know I shuffle like a madman. So, you guys got the Hanged Man reversed. Oh, the Nine of Cups, beautiful. And the Judgment card. I like, first of all, you have similar color schemes right here, here, and here. That's nice. But yes. And you also have 2 major arcanas out of your initial 3 cards. So this is big energy. This was like, I feel like you've recently completed a huge cycle in your life, right? Because the Judgment card energy is all about like doing a life review. It's about, decisions that we make that have the potential for pretty long-term impacts. This is about being at a crossroads in your life. And I feel like you've recently made it through this point. And the reason why I say that is because we have the Hanged Man reversed. So when the Hanged Man is upright, first of all, this is Pisces energy, so that may resonate, but it certainly doesn't have to. But when, the Hanged Man is upright, this is when we're forced to take a break. We're forced usually through divine intervention, to take a pause and to try to see something from a new perspective. And I'm always really moved by the fact that the Hanged Man in the major arcana is followed by the Death card, right? Which is about endings and beginnings. This is about a transformation and a rebirth. So when I see the Hanged Man reversed, one of the meanings here is that this can talk about, the need to stop and to try to consider things from a new perspective. But just based on the rest of the energy, I feel like this is something you've already kind of been going through. And when I see it reversed, another meaning is that you're finally getting unstuck. And how do we get unstuck in the story of the major arcana? The only way to get unstuck from the Hanged Man energy is to then proceed to the Death energy, right? Which isn't like a literal death, but so to me, what I'm seeing here is that, I feel like you've been up against it. You've had a lot of difficult circumstances, because you've been really going for this 9 of Cups. You've been going for your wishes. You've been really thinking about where you've been, where you want to go, how to get to what it is you truly desire. Because there's like the water line right here. So there's like a lot of emotion in this wish that you have, right? This emanates out from your heart and solar plexus chakra areas. This is something that you love. And I feel like you've been in this period of evaluation. You've been in this period of life review of kind of saying, well, this is how I've gotten to where I am, and this is where I want to go, and, you know, starting to really take concrete, tangible steps to get there. And so this is leading to this Hanged Man reversed of really saying, you know, like I said, the only way to get unstuck is to be ready to go through the changes of the Death card. So I feel like you have done this for many of you. For some of you, this is a process you're still in. And this may be your pep talk from Spirit, just to letting, like, kind of let you know as you go through this process, A, to rest and to give yourself, you know, peace of mind, but also B, that what you focus on more than where you've been, you know, is where you're going, and what you focus on is what you create. You know, what your spirit can manifest is so much more than what your physical being can create. Like, you know, if that makes any sense, is like what your spirit and your energy can create sets the tone for everything you experience, essentially. So like I said, for some of you, you're still in this process, but for many of you, I feel like you are wrapping this up. Just because we have rest, and because, again, I had that kind of energy of like celebration and really tuning into that happiness frequency. I feel like a manifestation is being delivered to you. But really with that, what I'm saying for many of you is that you are making the changes. You are making the more empowered choices for yourself and creating what you truly want out of life. And especially with sweet thoughts, I feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with your mental energy, with your thoughts, with your personal enlightenment and how you view your own journey so far. So that's amazing. I'm loving that. I'm going to pull you guys some more tarot, and we're going to get some more answers. There is here. Oh my gosh, I'm really trying hard not to bump the camera. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just not my strong suit. It's not something I'm good at. Okay. Okie dokie. You guys see? There we go. Sorry. Okay. So clarifying the Hanged Man, we have, the 10 of Pentacles. Yes, I love it. Sorry, my throat is a little bit scratchy. Clarifying the 9 of Cups. Ooh, we have the King of Swords. I also talk about how this King of Swords is like a silver dam fox. Like, oof. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. And clarifying the Judgment card. Oh, we have the 6 of Cups reversed. Okay, yeah. Okay, so just looking a little bit. Yeah. It's interesting too. There's all sorts of different people of different ages, different gender identities, different different presentations on all these cards. But here we have another. We have like a slightly, I wouldn't say older man, but again, a slightly older man, a slightly older man, and a slightly older man that all look kind of, especially these two, look more similar than not. Okay, so for some of you, this could involve an older masculine figure in your life. This could be a partner. This could be a father figure, a mentor, an uncle, a friend. For some of you, this may be you. For some of you, this is a really weird thing. But for some of you, this is a past life of yours where you were this masculine energy and you're like wrapping up things from a past life. Because the Judgment card can talk about that, especially clarified by the 6 of Cups. But that's not usually one of its main meanings. But I do just kind of want to throw that out there. So, with the Hangman reverse clarified by the 10 of Pentacles, this has been you really getting clear on what you want out of life. I feel like this has been you getting clear about, again, because, we have Judgment right here clarified by the 6 of Cups reversed. The 6 of Cups went upright. First of all, this card is the cutest shit I've ever seen in my life. I love it. Like it makes my heart explode every time. But, when it's upright, this can talk about like soulmates, and this can talk about past life energy. This can talk about childhood. This can also talk about, this talks about like innocent love, the things that we love without condition, without boundary, right? We just love them, wholly in their integrity and entirely. And so when it's reversed, it can kind of talk about releasing those things. It can talk about not being blinded by nostalgia. It can talk about really releasing where you've been in order to make room for where you're going. And it can also talk about the resolution of past life issues. So with this coming out under the Judgment card, and then this particular version of the Judgment card where the soul is like fairly separate from the body. And it's really interesting. You have a lot, like this person has their arms kind of like closed in around themselves, but they have the spirit kind of emerging from their heart chakra, like chest area. Same thing, open chest, open chest. And I feel like that's important. I don't know why I wanted to put that out there. But yeah, so having the Six of Cups reversed coming out under the Judgment energy, as well as the Ten of Pentacles coming out under the Hanged Man reversed, I feel like you've been in this period of really evaluating where you've been, as well as evaluating where you want to go. Because the Ten of Pentacles is the culmination of the Pentacles suit. And this is like, you know, a wish, a dream come into full fruition. This is, you know, material stability. This is generational wealth. But this is also something where like you are fully satisfied with your career and your home, right? Your family life. And with the King of Swords coming out under the Nine of Cups, first of all, this is masculine air energy. So this could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So if you're asking about that, or this has been on your mind, you've had a masculine air sign that you're thinking about collaborating with, you're thinking about trying to build with this Ten of Pentacles with, I feel like this is confirmation from Spirit that yes, this person would be a good match for you in that regard. So if you've been stressing a lot about it, you can kind of rest assured that you have made the right choice. In general, I kind of get that vibe, and I'm going to get more into that in a minute, but if that's the situation, this is somebody you can really build a lot with. This is somebody who's a good planner. This is somebody who is focused on, because of the placement where he's looking at the Ten of Pentacles, this is somebody who's really focused on planning out how to build an empire. And I feel like it's a good fit for you. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have a follow-up. I'm just like, it's a good fit for you. Okay. And so, if this is kind of something that you've been asking about, you've been trying to get clarity on, this is like a confirmation from Spirit that yes, this person is your path. This person has similar goals to you, especially where the King of Swords is not particularly known for being very emotionally expressive or emotive. It might be hard to tell if this is a good fit. And I feel like with the Judgment card energy and the Six of Cups reversed, if this is your situation, this is something where you've been trying to figure this person out. And this is something where I feel like there are mistakes of the past you've been trying really hard not to recreate. And Spirit's saying, nope, you're good. Like, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And just staying focused on the positive of this relationship is really going to be what manifests the success you're looking for. Now, for others, this is all about your own personal empowerment. With the Six of Cups reversed and the Judgment, again, this may be something that's happened in this life or a past life. But I feel like finding success through your own happiness with the Nine of Cups has been something that's been challenging for you. So maybe, maybe you've kind of lived your life according to what other people want for you. Maybe you just haven't really known, which way to go. Maybe you've had a lot of passions and hobbies that you haven't really known how to build into like a business or monetize or, how to really market that. But I feel like with the King of Swords looking at the Ten of Pentacles under these two energies, this is really talking about the fact that you have been on your game. You've been planning, you've been watching, you've been waiting. And I feel like now with the Hanged Man reverse and the Nine of Cups, now is going to be the time where, if you've been taking action toward it, this is going to be rewarded. Or if you've been kind of planning and you're not sure when, the time is coming very soon for you to take action toward your dreams. And I feel like, with this Judgment card energy, I feel like you've been really trying to learn from the past and trying to not repeat mistakes and trying to plan a different way forward for yourself. And Spirit's giving you a pat on the back saying like, yep, you've got this, you've done the work. And now it's about keeping your energy high and your thoughts focused on the good things in life that you want to manifest, because I feel like your manifestation power is very potent at this time. I'm just kind of seeing if I get anything else for you guys. I don't know why, for some of you I'm getting, this is like not the biggest message here, but for some of you, I feel like you have either recently made the decision to like go back to school, and there's nervousness around that, and this is saying don't be. This is headed not only toward your dreams, but to your spiritual calling, and also to quite a lot of material success. And for some of you, I feel like you've recently finished up a degree program, or you're about to finish a degree program, and this is Spirit kind of like giving you a little pat on the back and a little pep talk and being like, you did it, oh my god. Because like I said, there's a lot of long-term success here where you've been held back, where you've been stuck, where you've been unable to see a way forward. This is changing, right? You know, you've heard the calling, you've heard the kind of intuitive nudges from Spirit to really be examining yourself and your plans and where you want to go. And I like the fact that there's a crow, or I can't tell if it's a crow or a raven. Either way, it's a corvid. Right here with the King of Swords, because this is all about magic and manifestation and co-creation with Spirit. And with all the mountains in the background, I feel like, and also I want to say, with all the mountains in the background and the bats right here, I feel like there's been a lot of obstacles here. And with being a bat and an owl, we have two nocturnal animals. I feel like you put a lot of effort into this. You put a lot of sleepless nights. I feel like you've had to skip out on a lot of things you wanted to do. And I feel like you've either made really solid plans and, you know, now all that's left to do is follow them, or you've put in a lot of the effort, you've put in a lot of the work, you've really thought it out, you've learned a lot, because the King of Swords is the, you know, the one of the highest evolutions of the Swords court cards, so you've really done the learning. I feel like you've really tamed any impulse control issues, so like the Knight of Swords, for example, he has a lot of good ideas, but he always thinks he's right, and he rushes forward to act on them without really a second thought. He can be a little brash and impulsive. So with it being the king, I feel like you've really learned. I feel like you've really learned to tame your impulses. I feel like you've put in the work. And as a result, this is kind of like Spirit coming in to talk to you and say, like, you did it. Congratulations. And now the only thing left really is to watch your manifestation come to life, but to make sure you keep your energy focused on what you do want to manifest, on the sweet things in life you want. Because I feel like you're about to get multiple material manifestations of what you're desiring with that 10 of Pentacles here. And also to not limit yourself based on where you've been in the past, because where you've been is not where you're going. And just to know that you've really grown into this maturity and grown into this evolution, and that, you know, taking that and moving forward is going to create a different reality for yourself. So I hope this has helped and made sense. I am wishing you guys all of the best and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. And with that, I'm going to move on to my group 3. Bye, guys. Hello, all my sweet little garbanzo beans who were attracted to this third option with this like rust-colored kind of thread. Immediately, with this, what I'm sensing, this color always reminds me of harvest. So fall time may be an important season for you, like a birthday or an important event. This fall coming up, which I know is still, you know, this is a timeless reading, but at the time I'm filming this is still a while away. May be particularly abundant or significant seasons for you. Or really what I'm getting here is that you are coming into a time of harvest in your life. And I feel like the pep talk from Spirit is going to have to do with that, what that's going to look like. This is a time of a lot of prosperity. And I almost feel like it's more than you've ever experienced. Like it's this idea of like, okay, like almost prepare yourself, because I feel like when this comes in for you, this is going to be a totally different reality than anything you've ever experienced. I feel like this is going to be more than you could have ever dreamt of. This is just like, yeah, this is an incredibly abundant time. That's all I can really say. Like, I feel like you're going to be fully empowered, and you're really going to be calling into being your wildest dreams and then some, is kind of the vibe. So I want to pull you guys an oracle card from the universe has got your back to kind of get your message from Spirit, your little pep talk message here. It's this one. Okay. Oh, I love this. Okay, can you guys see? Yeah. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Okay, I love that for you. So this could kind of either be like the sun that's hidden or a full moon. I'm almost kind of more getting the vision of the like a sun that's hidden as like sunset time. But in general, what I'm seeing here is that as you release anything that's not love, like as you kind of focus on the light that comes from love, the all-encompassing light that heals the soul, that guides us in our everyday life, our everyday being, and you release anything that's not that, I feel like that's when you come into this abundance, or you truly know how to embody and enjoy this energy to its fullest. There's a lot of purple and a lot of blue here, so I feel like there's a lot of divinity in this process. There are a lot of spiritual messages that are coming through, a lot of spiritual truths that are being revealed to you at this time, and I feel like it feels like a time of quiet, right? And it feels like a time of motionlessness right now, almost. And this is because you're going through this process of having I'm just really seeing the layers peeling back from what your awareness currently is in order to make space for this new consciousness. And in this new, more spacious consciousness, that's when this abundant energy can fully manifest or take hold or unfold for you. Wow, that's really nice, actually. I'm super jelly if you pick group 3. Yeah, so I wanna pull you guys a Botanical Inspirations card to kind of look at this a little bit more closely, because this feels like a really big deal. Okay, so you guys got Morning Glory. Okay, you guys see that? But this is affection and determination. And the quote is, "The morning glory, which blooms for a day, differs not at heart from the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years." And that quote is by Alan Watts. Okay. What I'm kind of getting here for many of you is that I feel like a lot of you here are very hard workers. I feel like a lot of you here are very driven. And this doesn't have to be necessarily in career. This could be in your spiritual development. This could be in your personal growth, in your relationships, in your home. But whatever it is, I feel like you're very focused on the next goal. I feel like you're very focused on the next goal. I feel like you're very oriented toward the upward climb. And I feel like as a result, sometimes it can be hard for you to be present in the moment and to be really experiencing in its full glory, its full power, the importance that each and every day holds as part of your journey, right? And it's really easy, especially in our fast-paced society, it's very, very easy to kind of discount a day. Right? And I always say this with caution, because the opposite of this, when you're just so incredibly hyper aware of every day, is almost like hypervigilance, and it's hard to live in that energy forever because you do get a little burnt out. But it's it's a balancing act, just like everything else. It's and I feel like this group is really motivated toward achieving your goal, to the point where sometimes this energy is missed. So sometimes it may be that you get frustrated if you're not where you wanted to be yet, or sometimes it's easy to get this feels like a perfectionist energy, where it's easy to really hyper focus on what has gone wrong or what's not how according to how you want it to be, what seems like it's how far away you are instead of how much closer you are to your goal than where you started, if that makes any sense. Because really, with affection and determination, I feel like this group is very determined, but I feel like what's lacking is this, because the morning glory for me, right, when it's talking about how it only blooms for a day, and in that sense it's no different than the the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years. And to me, this concept here is really talking about a level of peace that you come into where, it's like every moment is its own point of singularity. Every moment is its own universe, and every universe can be, shrank down to like the head of a pin, essentially. It can be shrank down to this one like distinct point in time, right? So it's this thing that the all is nothing and the nothing is all, if that makes sense. So the one is all and the all is the one. And I feel like for this group, this is important because there is this need to temper determination with your affection for the journey, because otherwise it can make the journey feel very, very long. And I feel like, understanding and celebrating and finding joy in the triumphs of your day-to-day is like the key to really coming into this abundant energy. Because right now I feel like there's a block for you guys around just fully appreciating the moment. And again, I feel like there's this perfectionist energy mostly directed at yourselves, where it's like constantly pushing yourself for the next step, the next accomplishment, the next the next win, essentially. And I think what Spirit's trying to tell you is like, find a moment in your day to stop along your path and turn around and look at how far you've come. When you focus on where you've been through your, the lens of your inner light and through the lenses of love, it just transforms the journey that you've been on. So it's not so much about where you're going, but it's about how you're the steps to get there, the process. It's about the day by day. And like even looking at, wherever you are on your journey, where were you a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and celebrating how those things that you were struggling to overcome, those goals that you had for yourself are almost, have been conquered or have been, worked on, have become second nature to you. Things that you used to struggle to figure out, you have mastered now. And I think really understanding that and accepting that and coming full circle in that realization is key to understanding this next segment of your journey. Again, there's something here about really staying present in the moment, but also really understanding how cyclical time can be in its own right. So, that's nice, you guys. So I'm going to pull you guys an oracle card from the Ask Your Guides deck. All my decks are going to be linked in the description box down below. This is going to give us just a little bit more information. Okay, so you guys got despair with nature spirits. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of purple, there's a lot of pink, a lot of magenta here, which means there's a lot of like psychic energy, and there's a lot of universal love energies and the universal consciousness here. This is card 29 in case that's important for y'all, but this is really talking about how I feel like this is where your focus is, right? Your focus is on the destination. And I feel like, again, I feel like this group might be a little bit prone to tunnel vision sometimes because you're so motivated, because you are so, because you're so motivated and because you're so, what's the word, you guys? I'm really struggling. It's not motivated, but it's similar. But I feel like this group is very highly driven by that kind of self-growth and however this manifests for you. And again, there's a lot of flowers here and here. So there's a lot of like growth happening, right? And what I feel like is happening is I feel like sometimes you can get this tunnel vision where it can make it seem like it's so far to your goal that you almost start to lose hope and you almost start to like kind of despair a little bit. And this can really kind of slow your progress down. Whereas like if you're, maybe not so focused in on this like, joyous ending. Because the thing is like with this with reaching your goal, with reaching your dream, it's your dream, right? It's something that you want. It's something that lives in your heart and soul. But, even if you kind of know how the story's going to end, even if you have an ending in mind, it's all the points in between that tend to give that ending meaning, right? And then, in the time it can take us to reach for the fruit at the top of the tree, the sun has perfectly ripened it by the time you have gotten there, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. Meaning that I think because this group seems like this is very much an energy of like go-getter, of, goal-oriented, motivated, action-oriented, I think that, you use this dream that you have of the end of the journey to motivate you, which is always a good thing. But I think sometimes it's very easy to get so tunnel visioned on that there's almost this despair when you're not reaching that goal and reaching that dream. And what Spirit wants to let you know is that just because you haven't gotten there yet, A, it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. B, it doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. And C, it doesn't mean that the destination is the only important part of your journey. There is all this other stuff that goes in between point A and point B, right? I wasn't literally saying this point A and point B, by the way, I'm just pointing. But, there's all this other stuff that goes between the two. And that's all the stuff that gives this the meaning that it has, right? And I think when you're only focused on the end point and how far you are from your goal, it can be very discouraging. Whereas if you look back at where you've been, I feel like it can be very humbling and it can be very meaningful. And I think that that light that you're focusing on within yourself, that you carry on every step of your journey, when you live in that light, it does give you that affection and that determination and that drive to both appreciate where you've been, celebrate where you are, and be overjoyed for where you're going. So, that got deep, okay. But let me pull y'all some tarot so we can kind of get a little more information. This is the Lightseers Tarot. It is beautiful. It is also going to be linked. I highly recommend it. It is very difficult for me to shuffle on camera. I am so sorry. Not a strong suit of mine, if you can't tell. Okay, so you guys got, the Four of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, the Two of Swords. Okay. And, the Page of Pentacles. I love her pants. I want them so bad. Oh my god. Okay. Let's talk. So right away, I feel like, essentially this is your journey right here with the Page of Pentacles. First of all, this is earth energy. So, this could represent Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could be you or somebody else. But mostly I feel like this is representing, for many of you, representing your journey. And I feel like you've had to let go of a lot with the Four of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you've had to, I almost feel like you've had to kind of detach from a lot of ideas about what you thought it would look like, or this is what you're being called to do right now. But there is you at this impasse, right? Trying to figure out which way to go, because there's this journey that's calling your name. And for many of you, I feel like this is something you've already started, and this is kind of coming up now. Sorry, I'm like fussing with them. I just can't get them to do what I want them to. But really what Spirit's asking you to do is to try to go with the flow with the Four of Pentacles reversed. This is to try to get you to really dismantle any preconceived notions of what you think stability looks like, because oftentimes when we feel our most materially unstable, so things in our material physical world are the least stable, or we count on them the least, that's when we're doing the most spiritual growth and movement forward. Because the Page of Pentacles is also known as like a spiritual seeker. It's like a mini version of the Hermit. And so I feel like there is this energy where you really want to move forward. You're very motivated to move forward, but there's still some lessons that need to be learned here. And there's this surrender. There we go. That's the word. There is this surrender that needs to happen. And I feel like, again, I kind of get this image that you've almost taken 2 steps down your path and then hit this halt. or that you've come a long way, but then there's still, you know, a decent amount to go. And I feel like there's almost this frustration of like, but I want to be there now, to the point where it's kind of discouraging you on the rest of your journey. And this is what Spirit kind of wants to talk about, is how important it is to really dismantle your opinions of what you think success means, what you think stability means, and to find deep within this affection and determination for your own journey in moving forward. Because I feel like when you see the road ahead as like a very long challenge, it's gonna kind of color your opinion of the journey, and I feel like you're not gonna get the most out of it that you could. I want to pull more for you guys because there's definitely more to the story. So let's pull clarifiers. Faux show. That goes over there. It doesn't go like that. Nope, it goes like that. Oh my god, okay. All right, we'll take that one. And then one more, please. These ones are beautiful, a little bit tough to shuffle though, I'm going to be honest. To tuffle. Okay. That's why I always pre-shuffle them before I film, so that I know they're well shuffled. So clarifying the Four of Pentacles, we have, the Two of Pentacles, okay. Clarifying the Two of Swords, we have the Fool reversed. So beautiful, oh my god. And then clarifying the Page of Pentacles, yes, we have the Emperor reversed. Okay, so interesting, you have two major arcana coming out over here. Yeah, so right away, I feel like this is you going back and forth. And I feel like because it's the red and the white, this is between the earthly and the spiritual. This is you going back and forth between the things that you can see and measure and what you can't, right? And this is kind of what we were talking about before, where it's like if you judge everything based on, maybe it's earthly depictions of success, you may really be like, missing out on the full message, if that makes sense. So like if you're like, oh, I have this goal, especially with all these pentacles here, I have this goal to own my own business, right? And especially because we have the Page here clarified by the Emperor reversed, this could very well be the case, be a situation where you're a leader, you're in a leadership position, you're a boss, you're, you really just like have your ish together, especially materially. So this could be the kind of thing where, you're like, oh, I'm in this Page position, even though I've put so much effort in, or, I want to do this thing, I'm really, really like motivated to do this thing, but I don't know because it's going to take so much to get there, is kind of the vibe that I'm picking up. And this is kind of, again, you going back and forth, weighing the pros and cons between the physical and the spiritual, and trying to find some type of harmony and some type of resonance between those two. And this has kind of created this Two of Swords energy with the Fool reversed, where this is available to you. You can take this leap of faith, right? And with the Amethyst, you're feeling very intuitively drawn to this. But you can do this. You can take this leap of faith whenever you want. It's available to you. And I think what Spirit's trying to say is that when you focus on the light within, when you focus on the potential here, right? What you can become, what you can make, what you can do, the journey that is just as valuable, if not more so, than the destination itself. When you focus on that inner light and you see the world through the lens of love, through the spiritual, through, the love for the journey itself, it kind of changes it, instead of being like this despair or this frustration, and it turns it into a labor of love. So the entire journey can have meaning. And if you've been on this journey for a while and you're still not there, you still like, because for some of you, I feel like you've been doing this for a while, whatever this is, and that you still feel like maybe you're only at the Page stage, which I'm like now loving that name. If you're like, I've been trying to start my own business, but I'm still really struggling to turn a profit. I feel like there's this very earthly conception of what success looks like. Like it has to be very linear. Like first I do this, then this, then this. And things don't really work like that in the spiritual realm. And I feel like some of you are kind of wondering, do I keep going, right? Especially if you've struggled to find success. And this is Spirit just kind of saying like, hang on, there is meaning and there is love. There's, every step of your journey has been handcrafted for your growth, to produce meaning for you when you get to the end. So in trying to skip those steps, you're essentially shortchanging yourself ultimately, which I know isn't very helpful in the moment. But what I'm really seeing here is that your abundance is coming in. And again, I feel like fall is going to be a very abundant season for many of you. Your abundance is coming in. Your harvest is coming in. But it's important to really commit to every step and every stage of your journey, understanding that it's all part of the process, understanding that it kind of almost makes me think of like making, I don't know why they're showing me this, but I'm going to give it to you guys. It's like making a pie. Like you start out with all the ingredients in front of you, and partway through, if you just looked at it, you just have like a doughy mess that you're trying to work with. And in the end, it's all going to make something. It's all going to come together. But if you stop partway through and say, but it's not a pie, and it never will be at that point, right? Like if you stop partway through where you've got like the dough mixed, but like none of it's, you haven't rolled any of it out. None of it's like none of the filling's done. Nothing's like assembled. If you stop at that point and you say, well, I've been working at it, but it's not a pie, at that point you're shortchanging yourself, and it never will be, because there's more steps, right? And it's harder because life doesn't have directions or a recipe or a set straight line to get to where we want to go. It's not linear. That's not how that's not how journeys of the spirit work, and that's hard while being embodied. But this is really just talking to you about try to find meaning and try to find the joy in how far you've come and in how much of yourself you've poured into this so far, and how much you have still to go, because every step you take is like, it's just going to make it that much more meaningful when you get to the end. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm really excited for you guys. This is good, exciting times coming your way, okay? So I hope this has been helpful. I am wishing you all the best and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. And with that, I'm going to move on to my lovely group 4s. Bye, guys. Hello to all my sweet little garbanzo beans who were attracted to group 4 with this purple thread. So really what I'm feeling for you guys, if you're attracted to the purple, sorry, my voice squawked a little bit. But what I'm feeling for you guys, if you were attracted to the purple, is that I feel like Spirit is tying up loose ends for you. I feel like there are spiritual cycles that are coming to a close. There's a lot of information that you have been missing that is coming your way. For many of you, this is going to come through intuitive nudges and epiphanies, but I'm also really getting conversations for a lot of people. And these are conversations with people you have psychic connections with and soul contracts with. So these are likely, but not for everybody, or not for every connection. These are likely people that have been in your life in a meaningful way. So it doesn't have to be, the longest amount of time, but it's just they had a really big impact on you. And this is stuff where I'm getting the feeling that you had an image of how the events went, and it's kind of one way, and this information that's coming in is just going to really change your perception of the events. And I don't think this is negative, but I think this is coming into full understanding. And for some of you, these are going to be events and people and situations where you kind of almost had to release the desire to know, which I don't know about you guys, but that is like torture for me. But you almost had to like release the desire to know, right? So maybe this is something that the situation went kind of south, and you could just kind of had to like detach from the circumstances or the person, and you kind of had to make peace with the fact that you might never really get an answer. And for a lot of you, I feel like these answers are coming in now. These may be through prophetic dreams or like through astral travel and communication. You may just like wake up one day and just kind of feel better about the situation. And this would be because you're meeting with these people in the astral realm at night while you sleep, and you're hashing this stuff out. But realistically, what this is and I say that because immediately it was turned this way, and I thought about it with this little frayed piece right here where I'm like, okay, tying up loose ends. And then I turned it over because I didn't like how it looked. But I feel like this is really like you guys tying up those loose ends. This is, especially too, if this was something where it's threatening to unravel, because I don't know if you guys end up using these, but I make cross stitches, so I use these little things all the time. But if you unwind it from its little spot, it will unwind the entire spool. So I feel like this is something where, now I have to fix it, sorry. I feel like this is something where, you know, this is like almost like tying it back up so it can't come unraveled any further, right? So for some of you, this is going to be doing, excuse me, some healing to existing connections that you're still maintaining in your life or situations or circumstances. And for others, this is going to be really tying up those loose ends and in preparation to like for these people to finally exit your life, or these situations to exit your life. I'm feeling people a lot. Like, and it's, to be fair, there are very few situations in our lives that don't involve other people, but I'm feeling like this is like interpersonal situations, interpersonal relationships, and for many of you, I feel like these are very long-standing connections, but for all of you, I feel like these are very impactful connections that have just kind of like served to really teach you a lot. So I'm going to pull you guys an oracle card from the Universe Has Got Your Back oracle deck. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's this one, it's this one, it's this one. Okay. Okay, so you guys had, oh, I choose love no matter what. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, is I feel like, and for some of you, these people, like I said, will exit out your life, and for others of you, these people, this is ending an old cycle in order to begin a new one. But regardless of your situation, I feel like this is because you are moving into a higher vibration, and it's time for you to let go of lower vibrational things. It's time for you to get the answers you need in order to move on and to be able to more easily choose to live in vibrations of love. So happiness, joy, gratitude, you know, excitement, curiosity, things like that. Because I feel like you're, like, again, you're coming into a new frequency, and it's going to be really important that you leave behind things that were of your old frequency. It's like you're passing through a portal. Sorry, you can hear my squeaky little slipper socks on the floor. They're like, but it's almost like a portal where you're going through this energy portal, and anything from the past, from your old vibration, is just going to fall away because it can't come with you. So I'm going to pull you guys a Botanical Inspirations card to get a little more info. I'm loving this though. Oh, it's this one. You guys, it's this one. It's this one. Okay. So you guys got, oh, pink rose, grace and sweetness. Can you see that? Yeah. So it says, the pursuit of perfection then is the pursuit of sweetness and light. Matthew Arnold. Beautiful. Yeah, again, this is, and it's the same colors here too. This is all about really being able to come into this new, very love-based frequency, this new existence, this new chapter for yourself. And there are a lot of soul contracts and soul bonds in your last chapter that had to be resolved. I feel like that had to be lived out. This may have been very difficult, or even just they may have been very like challenging in the sense that it has challenged the way you thought, the way you lived, the way you loved, and it's expanded you, and it's grown you, and it's made you a much more spiritually well-rounded person. And as a result, you know, this has been, I feel like these people are very, very, and these situations are very meaningful to you. And this is why I think it's time for you to get closure with them, is that either you and the situation, these people, are moving into this new frequency together and a whole new chapter is starting, or it's going to be time to really release these situations and these people, because you're coming into a new frequency and the lessons you have learned and you've gained have been integrated, and it's time for you to move forward now. So this is gorgeous. I'm loving this. I'm going to pull you guys and ask your guides oracle card and get more information after I take my stray hair out of the way. Ah, there's hair stuck everywhere, you guys. Help. Okay. what's this one? Okie dokie. So, balance, divine teachers, yes. So this is card 36, which reduces to a 9 in case you guys are interested. Yep. So we've got some Libra energy here, so very much an energy of partnerships. But yeah, see, this is what I mean. Soul contracts coming into coming into full fruition. You have balanced the scales. You have, oops, sorry, I didn't mean that. No, I'm knocking everything over. You have balanced out your karma with this person. I feel like you have learned the lessons and especially evolved and grown in your heart space the most. And I feel like as a result, you are getting a gift coming in. You are getting these new opportunities. You are getting something you've been wanting from spirit. But it does, like I said, kind of require that we're like wrapping up and tying up loose ends in order to make room for all of this beautiful new energy. And with it being a 9, this is all about wrapping up cycles, because the 9s in the tarot are about wrapping up the cycle, and 10s are the ending to the cycle. And this is all about the people who you've met along your journey so far and what they've taught you. And for some of you, I feel like you're struggling to kind of come back into balance, right? Because I believe whenever we have karmic contracts, whenever we have soul contracts, when we have learned it, I feel like after we have learned the lesson, there is a time of almost like, I call it karmic processing, because I don't know any, but like, I guess it's kind of integration, but it's also like, it goes both ways. So it's like this like karmic processing, like integration energy, where you've taken what you've learned, you're really absorbing it. This is where I feel like you're likely to have a lot of very important dreams. This is where you do a lot of work in the astral realm. So these are like the kind of nights where, for non-medically associated reasons, you might wake up almost more tired than when you went to bed, or when you're having a lot of like strange dreams, but they feel so lifelike. It's stuff like that. So it's you've learned the lesson, and you're processing it and integrating it at a soul level, at like, in terms of like your soul wisdom. Before you're ready for this new energy to start to materially manifest in your life. So you may be in this in-between period, and I feel like that's why it's really important to be wrapping up these loose ends and coming into understanding about what previously evaded you. And I feel like that's partially the gift from spirit here, is that where you weren't sure, where you were kind of stuck wondering why, where you may have had to release the need to understand why something was happening, why somebody did something, why things unfolded the way they did. I think the gift of understanding and closure is what spirit is going to be bringing in for many of you. And this is going to kind of open up your heart space again, because it's going to be like, okay, I get it. Like, I see what had to happen. I see why it happened. I see everything it brought to me. And, it's just being able to see the entire thing all at once. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the book Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. It's one of my favorites. But they have the Tralfamadorians. There's these aliens who can see in all 4 dimensions at once, and there's like a scene in the book where a human is looking at a novel of theirs, and it's just a still image, and the way they describe it is like, well, because we can see in 4 dimensions at once, we see the past, present, and future of that picture. So when we look at it, it's this like, I forgot exactly how they described it, but it's almost this cacophony of emotion, because you can see the entire story all at once, and you like look at it, and it has so much meaning because it's the entire journey encapsulated in one image, because they can see in the 4th dimension as well. And this is almost kind of the feeling I'm getting here, is that whatever information you're getting is going to allow your perspective to almost like shift on a dime, to where you can look back at the events you've experienced and almost see in 4 dimensions at once, why things happen the way they did. You can see how it all connects, and the spiritual thread that runs through all of it. And I feel like that understanding is going to allow you to come into a greater acceptance of what has happened, and allow you to release anything that was perceived as negative along your journey, and really again come into this love-based frequency. That's beautiful. Wow. Like, Holy shit. I'm sorry. That's really nice, though. So let's pull you guys some tarot and get some more information for you guys. And I'm sorry if I bump the camera or the mic. I'm trying really hard not to. I'm squished into this little space. I'm going to eventually set up a different filming situation for myself. But right now, this is good. There we go. So, okay. You guys got, and I'm using the Lightseers Tarot, by the way. It's beautiful. Okay, Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay. I'm loving this. Oh my God, and the Ace of Pentacles. You guys, so much Pentacles. So, Queen of Pentacles, you may be an Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You may be dealing with one. So I want to immediately mention we have the 10 and the Ace. This is the culmination, the fruition, and then the new beginnings. So this is what Spirit's offering you, is this new beginning. And I feel like it's coming up soon. And this is why you're coming into understanding. And also too, the 10 of Pentacles really talks about like, full fruition of your material world. So this is like long-term generational wealth. This is career success. This is, a home. This is building something that will last for generations. Whether this is like tangible, like, you're accruing actual material wealth, or you are doing the self-healing, you're breaking generational curses and karma, you're doing the self-healing, the soul work that's going to last you not only for this lifetime, but also multiple, all your subsequent lifetimes to come. And I feel like it's really interesting because the King and Queen of Pentacles, essentially the way I look at them, they rule the empire of the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like this has been a long journey for you. This may involve family, but it doesn't necessarily have to. This has been a really long journey for you to create stability for yourself, whether this is in the material or whether this is in the spiritual realm. And it can be both because there is an association between the two, right? Like that as above, so below, as within, so without. This has been a really long journey for you to really establish what self-worth looks like for you, right? For you to establish what growth looks like for you to establish what stability looks like. I feel like this is all about your own personal empowerment and understanding what that means for you. And I feel like you've had a lot of challenging connections in your life that have been those divine teachers that were here to show you that were here to show you through a number of different ways and experiences what this 10 of Pentacles looks like for you, how to achieve that stability. And for some of you, this cycle has gone on for a long time. Like, this cycle may have gone on for the last 10 years. This cycle may have gone on your entire lifetime. This feels like a really big culmination, right? And so where you felt disempowered before, where you felt undervalued, and for some of you, I'm getting, you didn't even feel undervalued. You were just straight up undervalued and underappreciated. And I feel like you had people in your life that just like took you for granted. And this has always been the case. And you just never really stopped to think about it because that's all you've known. And I feel like because she's got this kind of like minty green teal, like head wrap, and it matches her eyeshadow, right? So it's on her crown and her eyes. I feel like this is something where you've always known and you've always acted and you've always felt like you've always acted from your heart chakra with the green. You've always seen things through the eyes of love. You've always thought through, like you've always, it's hard to describe, I'm so sorry. Like you filter everything, all the messages you receive, all of the intuitive promptings you get, all of the downloads you get. You always filter everything and you see people, you really see everything. Because look, this color is very similar to this color. Through the eyes of love, through the eyes of truth and fairness and the truth of somebody's soul. And I feel like for some of you, you've just never really been around people who have truly valued that about you. And for some of you, this could be where you had this and then you've been through some challenging connections and really kind of lost sight of this. And this is why it's I choose love no matter what. But this is all about feeling grounded, feeling secure, feeling like held by the universe, and feeling safe to put yourself out there in a love vibration and know that it's not going to come back to like bite you in the butt. Because and this is why I feel like this is the 10 of Pentacles. I do feel like for a lot of you, this is something that you've either been working on like this entire lifetime, or you've been working on this for multiple lifetimes. This feels like a huge culmination. And that's also why I talked about like this might have to do with like generational patterns, generational curses, generational karma. This is something that's been going on for a long time. And I feel like what you're coming into it's interesting, we have a 9 here, and then we have that 10 that we're talking about, and we have the Ace, which is the new beginning. What you're coming into is that understanding, and so you can release what has happened, because I feel like you are finally starting to know your value and know your worth, and this is providing that stability of that 10 of Pentacles for you, where you feel fulfilled, right? You feel good. You feel like there's nothing you can't handle. You feel supported by spirit. You feel supported by the people in your life. You feel like you can finally start to build, right? Because this feels like this is the cycle that has ended. And now with this new beginning, this is something where you can finally start to build and see progress. Because for a lot of you, I feel like I just keep being shown this image of somebody trying to get up a hill, and it's really, really muddy, and they just like take like a step or two and then slide all the way back down. So for some of you, I feel like it's been very hard to make this progress, to make this growth, but I think it's taught you, again, to really see everything and filter everything through the eyes of love, through your heart chakra. It's really taught you to be patient. It's really taught you to try to see the best in people, and most importantly, to see the best in yourself, to see the divinity in yourself. Because look, right at the center, that same color, I feel like that's at the epicenter of this new beginning for you, is really learning how to like see those traits in yourself as valuable, as valued, as beautiful, and as, you know, as divine gifts. Because again, for some of you, I feel like you've just never really had people in your life that have really appreciated this about you. So I want to pull more tarot for you and get a little more information. This is 3. Okay, well, there's that. Oh, the exact number of cards. Okay, cool. So, coming out under the Queen of Pentacles reverse, we have the Magician reverse. This is Gemini and Virgo energy, by the way. That may resonate, doesn't have to. Coming out under the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Cups. And coming out under the Ace of Pentacles, yeah, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Boom. So we have a ton of Pentacles here. And we have, mostly Pentacles, and then a Cups card, and a Major Arcana. So the Magician reversed, coming out under the Queen of Pentacles. Again, this is very much about new beginnings and empowerment and magic and manifestation, your own personal power, but it's reversed. So I feel like you've been in a cycle where it's been very hard for you to feel balanced and grounded in your own power. And I feel like for some of you, part of this struggle has really been in order to show you what you're, not like what you're made of, but what is true to you, right? So we're talking about looking at things through the eyes of love and through your heart chakra, through your heart space. And for some of you, I feel like you've had to do this despite overwhelming challenges. And I say this because we have the 5 of Cups, and this is all about, you know, sadness, grief, extreme loss. And if you notice, this isn't in the traditional card, but there's this like long winding path right here. This has been a journey you've been on for a while, and I think it's really interesting because she's like, I can never tell if she's trying to stop this cup from pouring out by sticking her foot in it, or if she's trying to kind of pour it out herself. But this is something where I feel like you've almost been so accustomed to it. And look at how he's got magic, right? And it's like coming out into his manifestation. He's pouring his own magic out into his manifestation. And look, it feels like her essence, her magic is taken away with this loss, right? With this almost like black hole of grief. So again, there's been a lot of disempowerment here. There's been a lot of, I just feel like sadness. A lot of this I feel like has to do with family patterns, a lot of grief, a lot of, it's a lot of like, there's no other way to put it. Yeah, it's a lot of loss. It's a lot of loneliness, especially with the 5 of Cups here. And it's interesting we have this color again. And I feel like for some of you, this has been to really show you like how strong your like heart chakra energy is, how strong. For many of you, you may live predominantly from your heart chakra. That might be your strongest chakra here, because we have a lot of green throughout these cards. But I feel like this has been really to show you, because I feel like you're the kind of people where no matter what happens, no matter how sad you are, no matter how grief-stricken you feel, you keep coming back to the love that you feel for other people, for parts of this lifetime, there's just something here about you keep coming back out of love. You're just really, there's something about like being driven by love. And I feel like for a long time, many of you felt like you were kind of just throwing this into the void and not really getting anything back for it. And all of this is coming back around now into full fruition to show you, with the Ace of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, that what you have worked on has been growing something for you. You have been wrapping up a massive cycle that's either very, very long in your life, through multiple generations of your lineage, or through multiple lifetimes regarding this situation. And I feel like the big thing, especially where she's holding a green candle, is that now what you're putting your effort into, your work into with the Eight of Pentacles, has the potential to grow. Because before, the way they're showing it to me is that before, everything you were putting into this was almost kind of like a deficit, right? Again, this is why I'm thinking maybe like generational karma or curses, or just like a very, very long life journey for you in this lifetime. It was almost like it was at a deficit, right? And now the scales are finally balanced. So the work you put in, because the Eight of Pentacles is all about doing the work and working very hard, the work you put in is going to go somewhere, is going to manifest. And just because the imagery here on the Eight of Pentacles with the moon cycles, working with lunar manifestation may be particularly beneficial for you folks. But what I'm really seeing here is that, you are wrapping this cycle up, right? And I feel like it's okay, it's safe now to put your love, to put your hope, to put your dreams into this new cycle, because now this is something brand new that's starting for you. This is the gift that Spirit is offering you. And for some of you, I feel like it's going to have a material manifestation as well. So this may be a new job, a new home. This could be you're receiving money that really helps you start something. For some of you, you're starting a business. For some of you, you're just like, I'm feeling like you're finally paying off debts that allow you to kind of start fresh. It's just like, what I'm really seeing is that whatever it is this has applied to in your life, or whatever situations, you are finally going to be able to make progress. The scales are finally balanced, which means anything you put your effort and your work into regarding this new situation, you're finally going to make progress, right? You're finally going to be building something new for yourself. And a lot of you are going through this process right now of tying up these loose ends. So kind of your pep talk really from Spirit is that it's safe for you to love. It's safe for you to come out. The answers you need are on their way. And it's safe for you to really try and to put your hopes and your dreams and your effort into this next chapter of your life, because it's very, very different than your last chapter. And I briefly want to say that just with the placement of these cards, she's looking at this. So I do feel like you're kind of looking at the past, kind of being like a little leery of the future, and that makes sense. But I think this is why Spirit's coming in with this pep talk right now. It's just to let you know that it is different, and moving forward, you have a very different soul contract, or a set of soul contracts and soul purposes that are being fulfilled. And those are in this energy of the heart chakra, of love, of seeing the better nature of people and situations. And I feel like that's very crucial for you in these next steps of your journey. So I hope this has been helpful. I am wishing you all the best and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, you guys. Bye.